1 minute on William Barnes starting now.
Well, this week I'll be teaching William Barnes. Getting people to read him. And that's a difficulty because he writes his best poems, really, in the Dorset dialect. The difference from Hardy, and Hardy, he invented the term Wessex in Barnes, and Hardy was very influenced by Barnes being there. The difference from Hardy is that there's no irony in Barnes, that there are the simple pieties of life. Love for his wife, love for the countryside, in a sense regret for his childhood and the loss of the world of his childhood. So in one poem he talks about, it's rather modern, isn't it? Oh, the awful business of widening roads and the disappearance of birdies where he played when he was a child. Or the fact that he remembered playing in the squire's hayfield when he was young. And they'd all sort of trampled it down. And the squire came up to them and said, "I think you'd better go home, your feet will be very wet." And they then realised what they'd done. Whereas nowadays, he said, people put up notices and lock gates and you're not allowed in the premises at all. So there was that sort of regret for a more innocent and slower world.
Tell them about the railroad you were just saying.
Oh yes, well, he does have poems about modern things like railways. For example, there's 2 poems on sitting in the railway carriage, and in one of them he notices that things that are in the distance stay with you, whereas things that are close to the window pass by at an enormous rate. He notices an oak tree, and he said, for ages everything else in the landscape seemed to revolve around that oak tree as the train sped on. And he said, life is like that. There is some beloved object which you keep your eye on and everything else revolves around that. The sad thing is that for him, that beloved object was already dead when he wrote that poem, his beloved wife, Julia, of 30 years.
Can you say that thing about we've got time for the diary?
No, it's over now, and that was more than a minute.